Now, the update with Emoni Bates and Sharife Cooper is just out of this world, and I never thought I would be reporting on this. Now, Emoni Bates, of course, one of these guys whose name is always talked about in college basketball, but it's safe to say I did not expect this. Now, reports are stating Emoni Bates will actually not be playing in the AAC tournament for Memphis, and that's wild because we know he just recently suffered an injury and has been rehabbing to try to work his way back. But does this mean Emoni won't even play in the NCAA tournament at all if Memphis makes it? Well, it's definitely a possibility. Now, in this case, it's crazy because number one, Emoni has been working so hard over this time, but this freshman year for him has been nothing but a catastrophe. He's definitely done things well, but I think the entire situation is what no one was expecting. Of course, being ranked a top player in high school, the number one player going out there, or arguably the number one player, destroying competition, him standing at around 6'9", 190, being able to shoot, dribble, and do a lot of things coming out of high school, Gatorade Player of the Year, and even his numbers when he was a sophomore were being compared to LeBron James. But what is going on? Now, I honestly think there's a lot of drama behind the scenes going on with Emoni Bates. Even one report was stating that he thought about quitting basketball, and this was actually a quote from back in high school that he talked about. But it's just insane all the ups and downs that Emoni has had, because people thought he would be able to be a one and done without a question at all. Now, of course, with his age, he's actually not eligible to get drafted after this season, and rightfully so. I think it's a good thing for him because he definitely, from what we've seen, is going to have to work on his game much more. Memphis basketball, of course, a lot of people are criticizing even Penny Hardaway, the head coach, for his coaching and just how he handles a lot of the situations, and especially Emoni Bates starting at Memphis as a point guard. A lot of people believe that that was the worst decision for Emoni Bates and just Memphis overall, because Emoni, yes, can dribble the ball, but he's not the type of hooper to really lead the offense like that at that point guard position. And it really seemed like it hindered him on the basketball court, because all the time he was playing point, everyone going into this situation thought it may be a great idea and Memphis would just be such a dominant team. But after we started to see the season move along, man, things were looking ugly on the court for Memphis. What's even more interesting about this situation is since Emoni Bates has stopped playing, which was January 27th, Memphis has actually gone 8-1 and is most likely locked their position in the NCAA tournament, which is wild because if their record is 8-1 and Emoni Bates isn't playing, that definitely says something. Now, I'm not going to say they're better without him, but I think for sure he has to find his position in this offense. And even at a point in time right before he actually got injured, this dude was coming off of the bench and he was putting up some numbers and things started to look to move a little bit in a better direction for him, but it's definitely going to take a lot more work just to overall polish his game. And I think majority of the time it's more of a confidence issue than anything. This dude clearly has the talent and the ability to go out there and dominate competition, but it's really going to take that confidence and just that full self-belief in himself to go out there and play like he did back in high school. Yes, the competition is the same, but I think his mindset just needs to change. Now, Emoni was actually averaging around 10 points per game, shooting 38% from the field with around 4 rebounds and 1.4 assists per game, which these are not bad numbers at all, but it's definitely not what people expected when you're comparing Emoni to LeBron. And I just think the media a lot of times puts unrealistic expectations on people like Emoni Bates and these other younger players. And although he definitely was playing well in high school, we see it time and time again. Just because you dominate at a previous level doesn't mean it's going to carry over and you're going to be that same player you once were. Now, I think the biggest question to ask is Emoni staying at Memphis after this season? Now, he does have a couple different options, but personally, I think he may end up leaving Memphis. Now, of course, things are rocky, and I definitely don't encourage moving and running away from your problems, but it just doesn't seem at times like he fits into this game here at Memphis and just what Coach Penny Hardaway has planned. I think if he can find a way to fit into the offense and really just get that momentum and get that spotlight like he once had, he could stay. But it really just seems like things were going from bad to worse, as he initially wasn't playing too well during the season, definitely had some ups and downs like anyone else, but then getting injured, it just seems like everything is going bad for this dude his freshman year. Personally, I feel like what's even worse is just the amount of hate and criticism I've seen on social media, because no one is holding back about how this dude is playing. And honestly, this is worse than I've seen almost any other hooper. I've definitely seen popular players during my time coming up, but there's no one that gets as much hate as Emoni Bates, and that's a fact. Now, if I've provided any value to you in this video so far, make sure you hit that like button. Now, Sharife Cooper, of course, is breaking the scene. He's out here going crazy, and I think a lot of people are not noticing what Sharife is doing. Now, he just had two very impressive games, a 37-point game and a 31-point game. And I have to say, man, this dude has some serious ice in his veins. Now, if you take a look at this footage, I have to say Sharife Cooper is one of these guys who I think is tremendously underrated. He's honestly come out of the scene playing well in every level. In high school, destroying competition, just going out there being a smooth operator, knocking down shots, able to get his teammates involved and really do whatever his team needs to help get that W. And then he went to Auburn, definitely played less games than we wanted to see, but he was out there doing the same thing and was developing a three-point shot that looked very promising. And now in the NBA, I have to say he's currently on a two-way deal right now with the Atlanta Hawks and is playing much better than anyone expected. Now, what I really like about his game is his pace. He's one of these hoopers that almost seems never going too fast or being sped up by defenders, but has the IQ to know when to shoot the ball, when to make the right moves, but also looking for his teammates. And you see a lot of times, man, people that like to score the ball and always have the ball in their hands aren't looking for their teammates. But Sharife is one of these unique guys that likes to see other hoopers score and get involved, and he is really just overall a dominant player. And I love that him only standing at allegedly, this is what Google is saying, he's 6'3" now, allegedly standing at 6'3", man, he can still finish in the paint tremendously well. And that's what we've seen since day one from this dude. He's able to get deep into the paint and finish. His finishing ability is wild. Take contact down low and just put that ball up. It doesn't matter how tall the hooper is. And I really just love his game, but I see him sticking into the NBA and really being a dominant player in these next couple of years very soon. What's even more impressive about Sharife Cooper is what he's averaging. Now, he's averaging 35 points per game, 9.5 assists, and 9 rebounds. Standing at allegedly, again, some reports are saying 6'1", but other people are saying 6'3". Man, what is going on? If you're 6'1", at that height, getting 9 rebounds, there is something he's doing right. And that's why I think this dude is going to be so impressive at the next level, playing for that varsity NBA team. I just can't wait to see how he goes out there. And when someone really gives him that opportunity, man, he clearly takes advantage every single time. We've seen it over and over again. He is made for the spotlights, and I can't wait to see how he progresses in his NBA career. Sharife's confidence is on a completely another level, and I think it's safe to say Sharife is not a G League player, man. This dude is ready for the league. Give him a shot and watch him take it over. Now, if you're a fan of Emoni Bates and Sharife Cooper, you'll definitely be a fan of this Bronny James being exposed by an NBA scout, basically calling this dude overrated and not a one and done, saying that he has little chance to play with Bron. Now, click that video on the screen because this drama is wild and you won't want to miss it.